Hail my friends. Please check to make sure that you are still subscribed to this channel. People do get unsubscribed every day. And consider please joining my channel membership. You get exclusive videos, exclusive members only live streams, emojis, and more. Join the Doomcock army. We need you, my friends. Thank you and enjoy this video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, and my sources have not only brought me news about the latest developments in the Lucasfilm Civil War, they have actually been pestering me to get this news out regarding Kathleen Kennedy's tenure at Lucasfilm and who might replace her as head of Lucasfilm following her departure, if indeed she is departing. I have been sitting on part of this story for 10 days now, because when I first received this news, it was muddled. There were rumors, but they were a little vague and I didn't feel comfortable sharing them at that time. Fortunately now, thanks to my network of agents and sources, I believe I have some clarity regarding this story and I can present it to you at last. That said, as with all these rumors originating from inside Disney and/or Lucasfilm, I cannot independently confirm any of what I'm about to tell you, so I urge you to regard all of what follows as rumor and take it with a grain of salt. So, let's get right to it, shall we? People have asked me, is Kathleen Kennedy finished at Lucasfilm? Is she staying or going? Well, this is what I have been told. One of my agents asked one of our informants, are the rumors about Kathleen Kennedy leaving BS, or is there something to it? The informant replied that no, it is most assuredly not BS. My source then asked the question point blank, is Kathleen Kennedy gone? And the informant replied, yes. Disney and Kathleen Kennedy have come to an arrangement, and Kathleen Kennedy will soon be departing from Lucasfilm. Indeed, in practical terms, she is already effectively out. My source requested details regarding what the terms of this arrangement effectively are, but this informant, quote, refused to elaborate, unquote. So it is not known if they have bought out her contract and will be sending her Star Wars destroying ass packing, or if they have mutually and formally agreed that her contract will not be renewed and are waiting for an opportune time to announce it. But if this information is true, it appears that Kathleen Kennedy has or will be surrendering her role as the head of Lucasfilm and leaving the flaming wreckage of Star Wars behind. Indeed, and you should take this with a truckload of salt sprinkled on saltwater taffy with anchovies, I have been informed by another source that Kathleen Kennedy is in talks with Bad Robot to begin destroying things for them. I don't give this rumor much credence, but when I was told this, I laughed my ass off and then wanted to bang my head against the wall, and then I told myself it was a crock of Johnson. But when I rolled my eyes to heaven and asked if this could possibly be true, I remembered that J.J. Abrams is the cinematic Antichrist from whom all evil in the film industry springs, so of course it could be true. In fact, given his track record of sponsoring or fostering every single genre-destroying idiot in Hollywood, I haven't forgotten about you, Kurtzman. It not only seems possible, but inevitable. But I won't say any more about this until and unless I receive more information on the topic. So all that said, the really big news here is a rumor I received 10 days ago. Disney wants George Lucas to take the reins from Kathleen Kennedy and save Star Wars. Yes, my friends, 10 days ago, I received the following rumor from my source. Disney investors have been trying to get George Lucas back for a few months now. Up until a few weeks ago, Lucas would change the subject when asked about returning, avoiding the topic or responding in a non-committal way. Well, about 3 weeks ago, they asked Lucas point blank, what would it take to get you on board with heading up Lucasfilm? Allegedly, George Lucas said this, if I were to return, I have 4 conditions that would have to be met. Condition 1, I get to make my sequel trilogy. Condition 2, I have full creative power until I decide to hand it off. Condition 3, Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Condition 4, Disney agrees to never ever mess with the original trilogy, leaving it untouched. Reportedly, Lucas closed out the communication with, "None of this is negotiable." My sources were told that the response to George's ultimatums was, "So when do you start?" My source tells me this information was independently verified by two different insiders. Certain details differed between the two sources, but those details have not been included here. What I've just told you was reportedly agreed upon by both sources. Now, why did I hold off on sharing this with you guys for 10 days, you may ask? Because then my sources told me that some people were saying Jon Favreau was going to share power with Lucas. Some said Favreau was going to be the head of Lucasfilm and George was going to develop projects under Favreau. Some claimed Favreau was going to serve Lucas as a kind of general or VP or something. It seemed very hazy to me. There was a lot of confusion, and so I wasn't comfortable reporting on it. Well, yesterday, I finally got a little clarity, and so here's what I was told about the proposed relationship between Lucas and Favreau vis-a-vis management of Lucasfilm. I am informed the current proposal is George Lucas would be the head of Lucasfilm. Jon Favreau would be put in charge of developing original content for Disney+, while a third, as yet unnamed person would be put in charge of movie production at Lucasfilm. All of these people ultimately under the authority of Lucas, who will set in motion a new era for Star Wars, the Star Wars verse. Not the most inspired name, I know, but that's how allegedly it's being referred to internally at the moment. Now, I don't know if some or any of this information is true, but that said, the timing of all these recent leaks over the last few weeks is very interesting to me. First, we got the leak that Kennedy's contract would not be renewed in 2021 and that Star Wars Celebration was canceled until 2022 when Favreau would be announced as the new head of Lucasfilm. Then we got a leak regarding the viewing of the Lucas cut by powerful movers and shakers inside Disney who hadn't been aware that it even existed. They were appalled and even infuriated at how much better the Lucas cut was than the garbage that got released in theaters this past Christmas under the title The Rise of Skywalker. Then it was leaked that Kennedy's projects were put on hold and she was asked to disclose everything she was working on to executives by July 3rd. On July 3rd, a major meeting happened at Disney or Lucasfilm, and an important decision was made, although we do not as yet know what that decision was. Then I started hearing rumblings that Kennedy's fate is sealed, she is leaving Lucasfilm, and George Lucas is being courted as a replacement for Kennedy in the hopes that he can save Star Wars and put things back on track for Disney. It makes sense in a way, reading the tea leaves. If this is true, it plays out like this. Disney is deeply unhappy at how Star Wars has underperformed under Kennedy's leadership, and they resolve not to renew her contract in 2021. But then, some bigwigs see the Lucas cut and flip out at the idea of how much money Disney lost by not releasing that cut of the film this past Christmas instead of the Abrams cut. They blame Kennedy for making the decision to shelve the Lucas cut, so they decide to apply pressure to possibly get Kennedy out even sooner than 2021 and recruit George Lucas to save the day. Ordinarily, I would consider this scenario pie-in-the-sky wishful thinking and incredibly naive to boot, except for the fact that with the current contagion that shall not be named on YouTube, Disney is in very, very serious financial difficulties. And the truth is, from what I've heard, they may not be able to wait until 2022 to start righting this ship. They need a hero now, and that hero is George Lucas. But aside from the issue of, is this rumor even true to start with, the other pressing question is, would George Lucas say yes? A brand new source, a source who claims to actually know Lucas, and I'm not going to say anything else about this source, tells me that Lucas is happy with his life at the moment. Is he unhappy with what Disney has done to Star Wars? Yes, he is. Does it keep him up at night like it keeps us up? This source claims no, it doesn't. He'd like it to be fixed, yes. But this source expressed skepticism that Lucas would want that much responsibility at this point in his life. In the opinion of this news source, Lucas might consult, might even write scripts for these new endeavors, but wouldn't want to be personally involved. While on the other hand, the source I cited previously tells me Lucas made 4 conditions for his return, and those who were negotiating with him on Disney's behalf agreed to those conditions and asked, "When can you start?" This other source disagrees. Which source do I believe? I'm not going to express an opinion, folks. All I can do is present the case to you and let you be the judge. Sometimes it occurs to me that, worst case scenario at this point, all these leaks are coming from the Lucas loyalists inside Lucasfilm. So while these leaks might not be false, they might well be skewed toward an optimistic outlook that may not be entirely realistic, or they might be spot on, as a lot of other sources have told me they are. Indeed, one source told me that of all the Star Wars leaks that are presented on YouTube, mine are the most accurate, which is probably why I'm now getting all these leaks. Again, I have no idea, folks, but it seems to me that things are rapidly changing at Disney and Lucasfilm, and it seems to me, at least, there may yet be a new hope for Star Wars. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock, bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.